Welcome back. We're about ready to start Unit 9, where we're talking about installment buying and using revolving charge credits. You can find this content in your textbook. It's Chapter 10. With no further ado, let me share the first part of this PowerPoint, and let's click some slides. All right, as previously mentioned, Unit 9, ready to rock and roll. This will be video 1 of a series of videos from Unit 9, content found in Chapter 10 of your textbook. There's your overview slide. We will get some Excel work going on in Unit 10. The usefulness of the tool that we find in Excel is very powerful in terms of some of the calculations we'll wind up having to look at. So that's still in store. It's a two-section chapter. So we'll take a look at how much it costs to use credit in section 1, and then we'll take a look at revolving charge cards. And quite frankly, they're very convenient, but for some folks, they are the bane of their financial existence in terms of debt. So let's move in. Oh, we got some objectives for Unit 9, and again, I'll list them for you in the overview sheet for the unit, but you can read them at your leisure. There we've got from section 10.1, section 10.2. Okay. So let's talk about installment buying. So you've all done this. You've all read about this. You all know about this. You want to buy that new car, or you want to buy a used car, but the sad reality is you don't have quite enough money to throw it down and say, good, that's mine. I'll drive it off the lot. So we wind up making a series of payments to purchase the materials that we wish. And so that's what we're going to look at. We're going to talk about a truck. And I did a little bit of research and found a local dealer that's got an offer for us on a Ram pickup. It's a 2024. And I should basically own the fact that in most options, you have the chance to lease these vehicles. For the purposes of this unit, we're not going to worry about the lease. We're going to simply look at purchasing the truck either with a cash price or with a series of payments. We will, however, consider what happens if we finance it for 72 months, 6 years, versus 60 months, 5 years. All right, so as we go forward, that's where we're going to play. In the PowerPoint, I put the image for us as off the website for the truck, but you're going to find out pretty quickly it's difficult to read. So one of the things that I will include in the resource folder for this unit is an actual screenshot of that offer, and makes it easier for you to see the numbers. But there you can see straight out, it's a 2024 Dodge Ram. I don't know a whole lot about Dodge Rams. I don't know if this is an awesome monster truck or if it's just like, okay, that'll be good enough I can haul my groceries. I frankly don't care. We're going to look at the finance options versus the cash price option. And again, we're not going to dwell on that column that deals with lease. All right, so that's our plan. We're going to consider what it would cost to buy this truck on time with a series of payments. All right, so I've analyzed some data from the ad for us, and that's what you see on this chart. If we finance it with a series of monthly payments, the suggested retail price from the manufacturer, $48,715, and it's that regardless of whether we're looking at a finance option or whether we're looking at a cash price and drive away. If we're going to finance, we're looking at a 10% down. That's $4,872. The dealer is giving us $4,000 incentives to try to move this vehicle sale along, a little stimulus package for us. And that, if you look, then says the amount to be financed would be $39,843, and we're simply subtracting away the down payment amount and the incentive amount from the suggested retail price to get the $39,843. Compare with cash price, and all you see over there is the $4,000 being knocked off, and so now our cash price is down to $44,715. So that's what we're going to look at. We've got the amount we have to finance, whether we take it for 60 months or 72 months, and that will be something that we'll consider in terms of how much extra does it cost to span it out over that extra year. Some words for us to consider: the down payment for that last example, 10% of the suggested retail price. Incentives may be offered by the manufacturer, stimulus kind of props to get us to consider that vehicle maybe versus a vehicle from a rival manufacturer. And you've heard some of these: a college graduate discount, first time buyer, veteran. Sadly, they don't seem to offer a lot of discounts for balding math professors. Trade-in value, we're not going to look at it in this example, but if you had a car or a vehicle that you're going to trade in, how much are they willing to give you in return for your vehicle? I have heard many people say that they're better served selling your car outright and then taking that cash because it just gives the dealer a place to play a little bit more. It's a little harder to see how much they're actually dealing with you on the price of the new vehicle. How much we're going to finance? The cash price would be, you're not financing, baby. Here's my money. I'm taking that thing home right now, driving it off the spot. Here's the cash. Okay. Again, from the article, from the flyer, you can find that if we do 72 months, the advertised monthly payment at a rate of 7.19% is $683. If we take it for only a 60-month period, same interest rate, 7.19 APR, and the resulting payment is $793. And you're thinking, like, well, why wouldn't I take the lower payment? Well, it might be better for you on a month by month basis to be able to afford 683 versus 793. But over that extra 12 months, you're going to find out you're going to wind up paying a decent amount more in interest charge for the extra month, or for I should say, for the extra 12 months of financing. So let's go ahead and run some calculations here for our truck purchase. We're going to finance the cash price, take away the down payment, and again, if there's an incentive, we'll knock that off as well. So the cash price would be 44,715. Taking away the down payment gets us to 39,843, as previously mentioned. So that's the amount that we will finance to drive that truck out on a series of payments. Okay, 72-month loan. Let's talk about it. It's $683 every month for each of those 72 months. So if that's the scheme that we're going to use to take our truck, to find the finance charge, we got to figure out what's the total of all the monthly payments and then subtract from that how much we actually are financing to drive the truck away. And you can see in the chart, the amount financed is easy. It's $39,843. We've already come up with that figure. To figure out how much we're going to pay over that span of 72 monthly payments, again, it's not difficult math. We're going to reference the fact that each payment 683, and we're going to multiply by 72, and we'll find out how much it cost us to buy that truck with a series of 72 payments. It cost us $9,333. That's the cost of our credit program. That's the cost of financing that truck. If we had the upfront cash, 44,715, we could have bought it for that amount. Since we didn't, all right, what we wound up having to pay was a difference of $9,333, basically for the convenience of using someone else's money over that span of 72 months for us to buy our truck. If you compare and contrast with what happens on the 60-month loan, you're going to see the same scheming. We're going to find the total of the payments. This time, there are only 60 payments, not 72. The payment amount per month is 793, so it's going to be 793 times 60. And again, we would then subtract the amount that we financed to find the interest charge for this particular transaction. So a 60-month plan for purchasing our truck shows us that the interest charge is less than what we had over 72 months. It amounts to $7,737. So a little bit of a break in how much we spent for the use of somebody else's money, but it's still a sizable amount of money. So it's a gigantic purchase for many people buying a new vehicle, and you're noticing that the cost of using someone else's money, the finance cost for that purchase, is not insignificant. I mean, you can't sneeze at $7,737. You can buy a lot of pizzas with that. Okay. The deferred payment price is the total of the monthly payments plus the down payment. And again, as previously mentioned, for the 72-month purchase, we got $683 a month times 72. We're also going to pay the $4,872. So that truck would cost us $54,048. If we had the cash price, we could have bought it for $44,715. So you can see it's a significant difference that we're paying basically for the use of someone else's money over that 72-month period for us to purchase our vehicle. The deferred payment price is the total of the monthly payments plus the down payment. We're just looking here at the 60s. So for a 60 month, it's going to be 793 times 60. And again, adding in the 4872 for our down payment, $52,452. Again, not insignificant considering the fact that we could have bought the truck clean with cash at $48,715, which also included a $4,000 down payment. I'm sorry, $4,000 dealer incentive package. One of the things that we want is a means to make certain that our credit charges are clearly indicated. And so when you take a loan, because of the truth in lending law, those numbers have to be revealed to you right up front. It can't be something hidden, can't be nebulous in any way, shape, or form. So clearly, they have to show you this is what it's costing you for this particular finance program. So the numbers that we calculated on those last examples would have to be readily available to us as a purchaser. Okay. Formula for calculating APR involves the finance charge on the loan, the amount financed, and the number of months of the loan. And here's a formula for us. You can add it to your formula package. 72 times the finance charge. The denominator is kind of intense. You got 3 times the amount financed times the number of payments plus 1, added to in your denominator the finance charge times the number of payments minus 1. We're going to go ahead and run an example. We're going to leave the truck alone for a while, and Sam's going to buy a new Mustang convertible. Quite frankly, I have a feeling that that 35,490 is probably a bit low. You got a great deal. Way to go, Sam. All right, so his finance charge for the loan's only $9,900, and maybe only is a bad word in that phrase because that's pretty sizable. So you know how much interest he's paying on this particular loan operation. He's going to make 60 monthly payments. The question says, what's the APR? So if we go ahead and fire back the formula, here's your plug-in line. And you're going to realize that the interest charge is the $9,900. It's how much he's paying to use someone else's cash on this purchase transaction. The purchase price, the amount he's borrowing, $35,490 to get him into this new Mustang convertible. And he's going to make a series of 60 monthly payments. Plug-in line 72 for 72, going in for I 9,900, going in for P 35,490. That's the amount of the borrow. All right, that's the principal for the loan. And since we had 60 in terms of payments, 61 for the first part and 59 for the second set. Again, all I ask of you as you run this calculation with your calculator is make certain that you're very good about grouping that denominator. Be careful, because if you don't parenthesize the entire denominator, you're not going to get a correct result. It's going to divide and then attempt to add at the end, which is not what you wish. So I ran the calculations. We got about 0.10069. So we're talking about 10.07% for that particular car loan as the APR. It's not hard to do, clean formula. The only caveat I have for us in terms of calculations, make certain that your denominator is grouped in its entirety. Okay? A slide for you to read. It's lovely. Okay. I don't know that we're going to do this for a ton, but we're going to do it for a little bit here. And we're going to take a look at how that payment diminishes the amount you borrow on a month by month basis. So it's not hard. Let's go ahead and take a look. To calculate a payment, another formula for us, all right, we've got the amount of the loan listed as the present value, PV. I is the interest rate for an individual period. Generally, that will be for 1 month. So you're going to wind up taking, if you know the interest rate for the entire year, annual, cut it by 12. All right, so N is the number of payments, and PMT, which is what we're calculating, is the amount of the monthly payment. So add this formula to what you got going on. Obviously, Excel's going to be very happy to be using it. Here we go. Sal's going to take out a 60-month loan to go buy a used car, costs $5,200. The interest rate on the loan is 10.5%, so it's a pretty steep interest rate. Maybe Sal's got a bad credit rating. We want to calculate the monthly payment for her for each of those 60 months. So there's our formula. Let's pull up some values that we can use. The present value of the loan, the amount she's financing, is $5,200. As previously mentioned, that's interest for a month, because you're talking about this on monthly intervals. So you're going to take the 10.5%, which is 0.105, cut it by 12. So we're going to be using 0.00875. That would be the interest rate for each month. And we've got 60 months total. There's your plug-in line. Again, a big old mess for us to calculate. Once again, the parenthesis around your denominator is pretty significant. I've taken the liberty of adding 1 and 0.00875. I know you're tremendously proud of my skill. Get ready to rock and roll, grab a calculator, make it go. And you find that the payment for Sally for her loan to purchase this car over a 60-month period amounts to $111.77. Previously, we calculated to figure out how much interest that amount or how much of a dollar charge it cost her in that span. But for right now, what we're focused on is with this information, can we calculate the amount of the monthly payment? And we were able to do so successfully, $111.77. Excel's going to make that magic happen for us. It's not bad, but you know, a good calculator still gives us the opportunity to crunch some numbers and get an answer without a whole lot of stress. Sally's monthly payment, $111.77. Go, Sally. And that, my friends, ends video number 1 for this unit. I'll be back soon with video 2 for unit number 9. We'll see you then.